The modern wellness industry has mastered the psychological art of making supplements and quick fixes feel not only appealing but almost necessary, a kind of emotional insurance policy against aging, fatigue, stress, or the fear of future illness. And understanding why these products are so seductive requires examining the deeper psychological forces at play. What seems like a simple purchase, a collagen powder, an anti-aging capsule, a biohacking stack, actually taps into complex emotional vulnerabilities, cognitive biases, and social pressures that make people far more susceptible to claims that would never survive rigorous scientific scrutiny. This psychology is the engine behind supplement hype, and it is far more powerful than most consumers realize. At the heart of this hype is a universal human tendency, the desire for a quick fix when faced with complicated problems. Health is messy, slow to change, and full of uncertainty. It demands long-term habits, sleep, exercise, nutrition, stress control, that take time to show results. Supplements, on the other hand, promise simplicity and immediacy. They offer a shortcut. They promise control. They make people feel like they are actively doing something for their well-being without confronting the harder lifestyle changes that actually matter. And in a world overwhelmed by stress and conflicting health information, that illusion of fast, easy progress becomes extremely tempting. Anti-aging marketing amplifies this even further. Aging taps into some of the deepest fears people have: loss of vitality, decline, invisibility, illness, dependence, and mortality. Supplement companies know this. Their ads are carefully crafted to push emotional buttons: smooth skin, glowing energy, youthful hair, sharper memory. The message is never stated directly, but always implied. Aging is something you must fight, and our product is your weapon. This framing creates a powerful pressure to consume. People aren't just buying a product, they're buying hope, reassurance, and a sense of agency over time itself. And when hope is for sale, skepticism weakens. The emotional appeal becomes even stronger when influencers present themselves as living proof that a product works. Followers trust influencers because they feel familiar and relatable. They share vulnerabilities. They speak casually rather than scientifically. Their before and after photos, even when heavily filtered or staged, create a sense of authenticity that bypasses rational evaluation. This is known as parasocial trust, the illusion of friendship, where viewers begin to believe in someone's personal narrative more than they believe in clinical evidence. It is a psychological trap that marketers exploit deliberately. But perhaps the most underestimated force in wellness hype is the placebo effect. Many supplements, despite having no proven biochemical impact, still make people feel better simply because they expect to feel better. When someone believes a capsule will improve their energy, mood, or clarity, their brain often generates that effect temporarily. The placebo effect is real, measurable, and powerful. Supplement companies rely on it, sometimes quietly and sometimes openly. If consumers feel any improvement at all, they attribute it entirely to the product rather than to natural fluctuations in their symptoms, better sleep that week, or the emotional lift of hope itself. This reinforces belief in the supplement, creating a cycle that keeps people buying even when the benefits have no scientific foundation. Another driver is the cognitive bias, known as confirmation bias. Once people decide that a supplement should work because of marketing, influencers, or peer pressure, they start noticing every small improvement and ignoring every sign that nothing has changed. They selectively remember the good days, but dismiss the bad ones. They assume the product is helping even when their symptoms persist or worsen. Supplement trends thrive on this bias, especially when individuals invest emotionally or financially in the belief that they have found the secret to better health. The wellness industry also exploits fear. Fear of toxins, fear of inflammation, fear of aging, fear of hidden diseases doctors supposedly ignore. By framing the body as fragile and constantly under threat, marketers position their products as essential shields. This tactic erodes trust in medical professionals and scientific evidence, creating a psychological environment where consumers feel safer trusting bloggers, influencers, or self-proclaimed experts instead of trained clinicians. It's a manipulation strategy that turns skepticism upside down, encouraging people to doubt reliable medical information while unquestioningly believing wellness marketing. Social comparison adds another layer of pressure. When people see others claiming dramatic improvements, whiter hair reversed, glowing skin, shredded muscles, perfect sleep, they feel compelled to keep up. Wellness becomes a kind of performance, especially on social media, where looking healthy is often valued more than actually being healthy. Products become symbols of discipline, purity, or biohacked success. And once wellness becomes a status symbol, the drive to consume only intensifies. The danger in all of this is that psychological appeal replaces evidence. People end up taking supplements not because they work, but because the marketing made them feel empowered, hopeful, fearful, or inspired. They invest in products that have never been clinically validated, products that can cause harm, products that distract them from real solutions. And in the most troubling cases, people begin to view supplements as substitutes for medical care, delaying diagnosis and treatment because they trust the emotional comfort of wellness culture more than the complexity of real medicine. The bottom line is that supplement hype is not powered by science, it is powered by psychology. And unless people recognize the emotional levers being pulled, they remain vulnerable to an industry that sells promises far more aggressively than it sells truth. Understanding these psychological traps is the first step toward resisting them and toward building a healthier, more evidence-based relationship with wellness altogether.